All right, Tesla. So we've had some trouble past couple days, and I want to walk through kind of what we had, our opportunities for exits, what to expect, and how to handle this. So as you can see here, we first had the issues on the 3rd of June, which is 3 days ago, where we topped out here with our plans going obviously up to the 400s. That is the goal. The chart was extremely bullish, coming down here ready to pop. And then we started getting some static here. When we provide the pivots and when we provide the strategies, which always include kind of you go here and then you can either A or B. So if we go up from there, then this is what to expect. If we go down from there, then this is what to expect. And that's kind of how we handle the pivots as well as certain SMAs. So our first sign of trouble, and probably the first exit for this, was when we fell, and this is a 4-hour chart for Tesla, easiest to show you all three things as we're going here. Also wanted to emphasize how strong these 9 SMAs are, which offered us ample opportunity to get in and out of these trades several times. And if we didn't follow that, then you didn't follow that, but the opportunities were there. So the first drop here, we went down to and lost the daily 9. We bounced back up to that daily 9. We played with that daily 9 forever. And as mentioned in the group, this was, we were having trouble here. Daily 9 was an exit point to get out of. Or if you wanted to hold, the hold was to, obviously push higher and not lose the monthly 9. Next day, going 2 days back, we lost the monthly 9. We lost the monthly 9, and right in the really early part of the morning, dropped down. We came back up and tested the monthly 9. And as we were coming to test the monthly 9, I had also written in the chat, testing the monthly 9. The opportunity here is to get out. This will be very similar to the daily 9. I do not expect to take it on the first try, and beware of issues. So again, if you were disciplined, this would be a good exit here, the monthly 9 on the back test. We're falling knife. We fell about halfway point, back tested up to this monthly 9, lost it, and then plummeted. And continued to plummet all day. Then we lost the weekly 9 here. The weekly 9 did not offer us a back test as of yesterday. However, it did as of today. And today we're at that weekly 9. We have just been playing around with that weekly 9. Our key areas here are the bottom of this, which is this 273.63 is where we hit the bottom. The 271, which is last month's low, is a absolute must to hold. We cannot lose this, otherwise it's not worth looking at right now. We'll just come back to it when we start to see trends reverse. We then also try to evaluate what could happen if we had a rebound this morning. And we looked at this as a weekly 50. If we could stay above the weekly 50, close above 285 as a bare minimum, which is right here. Close above 285 as a bare minimum, that would start to show interest in the possibility of healing. 295, which is this weekly 50, if we get to the weekly 50 and held that in close for the day, and we're talking about this as a weekly 50, so we need, today is Friday, it is the end of the week, we need to close above this weekly 50 in order to show some promise going into next week. And the third line that we were hopeful for was potentially this weekly 9. Closing above this would be the most bullish scenario that we have on place right now for all of us. However, it does not put us out of the woods. In order to get out of the woods, we need to be looking in this 314 range here, where we have the 4-hour 370, 4-hour 200s. They're not on this chart right here, but right where my line is here, I'm just going to plant a flag here for you guys. So this is really where we need to recover to show some recovery here. And then we have to contend with next week the monthly 9 and then the daily 9 and to get back through. So if you're holding shares and you have a Twitter account, you can just turn off your Twitter account, not listen to Trump and Elon go through this, and close your TradingView account and not watch anything happen, and you'll be fine eventually. And it doesn't look like it'll be too long term, but we just don't know what this is going to turn into. The underlying news here is obviously, loss of sales, loss of contracts, loss of government subsidies, etc., and now loss of sanity by the guy that runs the place. So we have some difficulty with all of that, but it's all transitory, so we should expect to see things kind of recoup and bounce back, which we are seeing already today. Tesla, as of this moment, is up 16 points, which is a big improvement to where things could be. However, we are fighting hard with this weekly 9. And this weekly 9, again, similar to the monthly 9 and the daily 9 here, could be the catalyst that we lose to push us down lower. So we just don't know. We have not bounced back in a major way. We have not shown any kind of anything other than consolidation here. Consolidation is good, though. We like consolidation. Consolidation gets all your ducks in a row. It brings SMAs closer together. It gives us the opportunity to kind of create a scenario where we can push up from. But it also can work against us. So it doesn't give a clear indication one way or the other. The good news is that kind of our lines in the sand as we've drawn them are being held down here. So that's very, that's good for us. So the only thing that we can do right now is make sure that we're protecting ourselves. Depending on how you are invested in Tesla, we make sure we can protect ourselves by utilizing the tools we have in front of us. So the weekly 9 is one, which, for contracts, which I was holding, contracts was something that I wanted to make sure we were above, and we kind of floundered there in the early morning, and wasn't a great spot to be in. The weekly 50, if we lose that, then we're looking at kind of some leveraged shares issues, potentially there. But if you can hold and you have the stomach for it, you should be fine too. But if we lose this 271, this last month's low right here at the 271 here, if we lose that, then it really would make sense to reevaluate and get back in later. Now, take all that into account and look at things for a second. Find out how much money you would make if we went from our current position of 301, essentially, 301, all the way up to the daily 9 at 336. Figure out what that spread is for you based upon your contracts or based upon your leverage shares or based upon just shares. Figure out what that spread will do for you, and then think about that over time for a second, because it's not going to happen in 30 seconds unless something magical in the other direction happens, which, to be honest with you, could happen, but I'm not expecting that. I'm not going to roll dice here. Instead, with that increase, that potential profit or potential recovery, etc. there, try to figure out if there's a safer entry for you here, regardless of whether you're taking a loss or not, to make things, a little bit more easy to swallow. For me, I look at this and say, well, if I took my money off the table and I wasn't invested here, where would I want to be to make sure that I was safer? So we know that above these the 200 and the 370 4 hours are right here at 314. We know above there we have a better fighting chance, and they're going to be hard to get through too. And we also know, obviously, our first fight here before on our way down at the daily 9, being above there wouldn't be bad either. And the upside from here is tremendous. I mean, 400, whatever, from a shares perspective, you have longevity forever. From a contract perspective, that'll play out better. We'll have more information on that when that plays out when we get up here. But to go through all of this right now, is that your best play? And I mention that because we happen to be sitting at the weekly 9 right now. And if you are, looking at your losses, licking your wounds, trying to figure out what you're going to do, and you can't stomach all this, well, there's a lot more stomaching to go through. We have to get through all these points here, and we have to backtest them. And the same thing we did on the way down, where we went through the daily 9, we had to backtest it. We went through the monthly 9, we had to backtest it. We went through the weekly 9, we had to backtest it. Okay, are we done going down? I can't tell you that. What I can tell you, though, is that we have these tools in place so that we know that we can always check things. And backtesting key supports gives us the ability to exit in a better, more concise way. And you got to set your rules for these things, too, so that whether it's percentages down, whether it's certain supports that are lost, whatever it is, you've got to look at those things. Because all we can provide you with is the potential outcomes for if A, then B. Or C. And we can't tell you how this is going to, how we're going to go. We do not forecast where price is going to be on a daily basis, on a minutely basis. We can only forecast that far out in the distance, and we can show you how to walk the pivots, and that's what we're doing. So take care of these right now. Look at this right now. See what's best for you. See where your stomach is at with this. This was a absolutely brutal slaughter. There's no way to predict the tweet war or any of this. And some people have said it might have been staged. I don't really believe that, but I don't know. But you do realize that we did come to key levels. We came down to these key levels. We bounced off them. We've shown support coming back up. And the logical path, if you had a logical path to draw here, let me just show you. I will put my emphasis on it. Your logical path would be for us to kind of grow in this direction here. And probably slower, though. However, it will be bumpy. So that's the analysis. I still think we're going to SPY 400 probably by, the middle of July, if not sooner. But it's going to be a rough ride. And if you're all holding different things, you need to look at those instruments to make sure that you are doing what's right for you. In this scenario, this analysis will help you understand what we're looking at. Because if we lose this weekly 9 and we lose this weekly 50 and the daily 50 and we go on down, we have to figure out what's underneath here. We have a monthly 20, which is rising, which will provide us support, but that's at 260. We also have other stuff down here in the 250 range. I don't want to take the chance on the ride from here to 250. It's just not worth it to me. So I would sell here at the 271 level. If we lost last month's low, I would sell there and wait and let this all pan out and figure it from there. From a contract standpoint, that's up to you. But I do think that things will pan out in this direction. So holding them won't be a bad thing. I let go of what I did here just out of trying to be mechanical. Back test the weekly 9, get out. Should have let go with the monthly 9 when we back tested yesterday, and should have let go of the daily 9 when we back tested that on Thursday, on Tuesday. Those are the rules, and they should have been followed. Especially holding contracts, regardless of the term. If they're below 2 to 3 months, we should have just exited on those and not worried about it. But here we are. So, and this was one of those things where everybody kind of jumped in all together. So wanted to really kind of provide some in-depth analysis for you so you can see it. We are, consolidating right now. We're not doing anything positive. We're not doing anything negative. The only thing positive we have right now is that we are 16 points off the close yesterday, which was down here at the 285 level here, there, and that held as well. So again, 285 is our big support here. Weekly 50, weekly 9. I'd like to see the weekly 9 hold into this candle. I'd like to see it hold into the close. Our safety is we would love to be above the weekly 50 into the close, but we could go so far as down to 285 into the close and still be on the bullish path here. But just giving you all that information so you can help you make some decisions. Any other questions, ask me on the trading floor. I'm here all day. See you guys later. Thanks.